scammers can be pretty tech savvy, but some are going old school, stealing your information from documents that they find in the trash. Jane joins us from AARP North Dakota to talk about this really important issue. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you. Glad
Absolutely.
to be here.
Well, I know that this is probably something that we just don't even think of. It's an afterthought when we're putting things in our garbage, we're checking our mail, we're throwing away things that we think are spam. Tell us a little bit about why shredding is one of the ways you can protect your identity.
You know, dumpster diving or rifling through trash cans for personal information is a tactic used by identity thieves. And you take a real risk if you don't shred your sensitive material.
So when you say sensitive material, what are some of the documents that you might be speaking about? Things, I assume, that have our personal information and numbers on it, correct?
Absolutely. It's more than you think. Any junk mail or paperwork that includes things like account numbers, birth dates, passwords and PINs, social security numbers, and even signatures, addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. So that's pretty much everything, including address labels from junk mail and magazines, ATM receipts, pre-approved credit card applications, and even report cards and voided checks.
Now, when it comes to the things that we're getting in the mail or documents we might have around the house, some of them need to be kept for a little while before shredding, correct?
Yes, absolutely. There are some guidelines about what to save and how long, which you can find at aarp.org. But here are some of the big ones that are tax records. Save these for 7 years to be on the safe side. Pay stubs, save those for 1 year, then match them up to your W-2 form, and then it's safe to shred. Bank statements, save those for 1 year. Credit card statements, save those for at least 45 days. And then medical records, at least a year, but in sometimes cases, often longer. And insurance records, keep policy information for the life of the policy, plus an additional 5 years.
So for those of us who are now realizing that we may need to up our shredding game, what are the best ways to tackle all of this shredding?
Well, first, really invest in a shredder for your home or your office, preferably one that cross cuts. That means it slices in 2 directions. You should also cut up any expired credit cards or identification cards before throwing them out. And for larger jobs, consider hiring a commercial shredding company. It's well worth it. AARP does offer shredding events, and we did that in Fargo and Grand Forks earlier this summer.
And it's obviously very important to try to protect our information, but if we're concerned that maybe we have already been scammed, where can we go for more information?
Great question. I would suggest people go to AARP Fraud Watch Network Helpline, and the phone number is 877-908-3360. You can also reach this network by going to aarp.org/Fraud Watch Network.
Thank you so much, Jane. This is obviously one of those things that once in a while we just need to remind ourselves to try to protect our personal information, not just online, but also when it's in paper form as well. We appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely. Glad to be with you.
And stay with us. You at home. We've got a lot more North Dakota Today coming up right after the break.